See, in the last class, I think in the first class, and in the last one also, I continued a little bit, that what we call as spirituality or spiritual longing is not your personal making. It is not your personal longing. I was just trying to say that it is evolutionary process trying to go ahead. That presently evolution has happened to this level, that it has come to this such a level that it can produce thought. It has come to a state of being capable of supporting an elaborate psychological system. It has evolved to that extent, to that subtlety. Now it has come to that extent, and now it is trying to go further, and thought process is resisting it. And what we call as spirituality is just make the thought process allow something more to happen. It's not about killing thought process and no mind and all those things, but because thought process has kind of assumed a supreme position in our life, we consider that to be the ultimate pinnacle of life. Nothing more is happening. For everything we are looking towards thought process only, and everything is ending there. All the energy is being consumed there. Nothing more is happening, and therefore it is stopped. Spirituality is only to open that dam and let the river flow. It is not you who will go somewhere. Okay, you have only stopped it. Where it will go, it is not for you to decide. It is not your personal decision, and you decided, you came to some idea, oh, I will do this. No, the whole existence it has happened till now. Something has happened. It will go forward if you allow it. Now we have only stopped it. When you sense your own spiritual longing, not because many people are talking about it. Many people are talking about spirituality, therefore I will do spirituality. No, that's no good. If some hunger has come in you, if you sense your own spiritual longing, at some point you will understand that all human beings unconsciously have this hunger. So when you really see your own hunger, you will obviously see that this is not my personal making. Just like your biological hunger, it's not your making. You are hungry will naturally mean everyone has hunger. So when you sense that you knew there is a hunger, some hunger for more than what you know, basically more than thought process, you want something more, you will immediately sense, even if not immediately, at some point, you will be able to see that this runs through the whole humanity. Now I'm taking humanity, you can say everything animals, but just take humanity, because we have come to the level of psychological system data layer. Now it is trying to go further. So it won't be difficult for you to sense that this is actually the hunger of whole humanity. In the Gita, 12th chapter is dedicated to Bhakti Yoga. And in that, he describes the qualities of a devotee. And this is a famous verse actually, where he says, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam Maitra Karuna Evacha, that a devotee doesn't hate anyone and is compassionate to all beings. Now forget about all beings, let's just take humanity for now. How can you have compassion for all beings? Is it something that you can practice and come up with? I will be compassionate. I will be compassionate. I'm not even talking of, some absolute sense. See, this is one problem in spirituality. Whenever we speak of these words like compassion, immediately people will dismiss it, saying, only those people who really see the oneness of the whole existence, only they can be compassionate. Now, forget that. Those people we have anyway nailed to the walls, and we have dismissed them as impossible, as difficult, and whatever. I'm not even talking from that level. I'm talking from this basic level. Now you see your own spiritual longing. You see that knowingly or unknowingly, all human beings are struggling only for this. When you see that this connects the whole humanity, see, for you to have compassion in a universal sense like this, you necessarily must see something unifying, something that connects everything together and holds. Now, don't go into everything is consciousness. That is not our experience. Don't talk of that also. You just talk of what is in your experience. There is spiritual longing in me, and you immediately sense it. It must be there in everybody. Immediately, there is a very all-encompassing compassion for all human beings, because this is the connecting thread. The evolution has come up to the data layer. We are at the data layer now. Now the data layer is trying to go ahead, and you sense that, and you sense the others don't. Now you see it as a universal process happening. You will naturally see this as the connecting factor of everyone. This will give rise to a certain sense of oneness with everyone. You, whatever name you give it, compassion or whatever, I don't care. Your spiritual longing itself is enough to give you a sense of oneness. The more intense your spiritual longing, the more you will see this oneness. This is the only thing that can actually unify humanity. I will ask you a question. This phrase, unity in diversity, is a very popular phrase. What is the meaning of unity in diversity? Is it unity on the surface, diversity in the roots, or is it diversity on the surface, unity at the roots? Which one of it?
The second one.
Unity in the roots.
Unity in the roots.
It is diversity on the surface and unity at the roots.
Yes.
Yes. This is the idea of unity in diversity. I will take a simpler example. See, there are political beliefs. There are different political beliefs. Different people have different political ideologies or beliefs. Although people have different ideologies, I'm talking of a country now. Let me talk of a country. So within the country, there are different groups with different political ideologies. That is the diversity. What is the unity? All of them want the well-being of the country. Country comes first, then comes their ideology. At least by design. I don't know whether people really see it that way, but at least by design, country comes first, political ideology comes next. This you understand? And therefore here, unity in diversity is operational. All of us want the well-being of the country, but our ideologies are different and we will respect each other, blah, blah. Fine. Okay. Political beliefs, it is fine. If you have different enterprising ideologies, business ideas, that is also fine. Because the unifying factor is ultimately you want the society to thrive and economy to thrive or whatever. So when you go to beliefs, when you talk of beliefs or ideologies in these aspects, diversity is fine because there is something more fundamental than them which unifies it. When you come to religious beliefs, this is blown away because now, what is a religious belief? I will say that I have a religious belief that God is the ultimate. Now look at this carefully. Now for me, this belief is the most fundamental. Yes, everything comes later. This belief is now the most fundamental. Even humanity comes later for me. That is my religion. For me, God is the ultimate. I may not, it's not that I will necessarily go against humanity today, but I'm just pointing out the design of it. The ultimate importance is being given to God, a concept. An idea is given to people. I'm giving you an idea now today. There is this God, God is like this. I'm telling you. I have given you a concept, and I'm telling you this is the ultimate. This belief is the ultimate. You should be ready to die for this, or even kill for this, whatever. So now in your life, this belief will be the most fundamental. How can you, even if you talk of unity in diversity is truly not operational now, because for you, the belief is the most fundamental. See, for me, I have one belief. For me, that is the most fundamental. You have another belief. For you, that is the most fundamental. Now, how can there be unity between you and me?
Mhm.
We can be only united at the surface. Our roots are diverse. It's not existentially diverse. We think that my root and your root are different. What I consider as ultimate, what you consider as ultimate are different. And therefore, by design, at the roots, we are different. Now we can do a patch-up job and say, oh, we are all human beings, we are all one. We can say that. We can do a patch-up job and say that. Unity, 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 we can say. But where is the unity? Unity is on the surface. If you scratch that a little bit, there is diversity at the root immediately. Immediate next layer, there is diversity. How can there be unity in diversity when there is religion? There can't be. By design, it can't be. See, now doesn't mean that straight away everybody will fight with everybody else. I don't mean that. For many reasons, people may remain peaceful. See, even if, for example, now, even if I have some great belief, some ultimate belief on God, still in my life, I may still give more importance to humanity, or I may be busy with my survival process. I don't have time for all these ultimate beliefs. I'm busy with caring for my family, or or my humanity is still fundamental for me, and I'm not really religious, although I say. Or even if I think that my belief is the ultimate, I am not courageous enough. I'm weak. Mentally, I'm weak, so I will not fight with anybody. So for many reasons, I may keep quiet today. But what I'm pointing out is, by design, it is meant to create division. Thought can only create division, it can't unify. So diversity can be there in thought process, ideologies can be there, different ideologies, different beliefs can all be there, no problem. But that can't become the most fundamental. The moment it becomes the most fundamental, different people will have different beliefs, and there is division. There is diversity, not diversity, there are differences at the root. And only patch-up job can be done on the surface. We are all united, ha ha he he. This won't work. This is, by design, it is designed for differences. And so it won't work. See, now you can do one more trick. It has already been done. You can do one more thing and say, no, all religions go to the same God. It's not different gods. This is again another trick. How will this unify the whole humanity? I don't believe in anything. I don't want to believe. How will you find unity with me? It is only because majority of the world's population has subscribed to be some religion or the other. They are coming up with this, isn't it? Many people, they think that is liberal. This is not liberal. This is again just a little more cunningness, That's all it is. So I will say, all religions go to the same God. So it is only different names and forms, but it's all same God. I will say, I don't want to believe. How will you find unity with me now? If you really want to find unity across humanity, you have to look at something real, not created by thought. Thought can create anything it wants today. Tomorrow it can destroy it. You have to look at something real that is really existing in all human beings. And what is existing in really in all human beings is this longing to go beyond where they are now. They want to evolve further. There is a hunger in all human beings. They may not be conscious of it. They may be expressing that in many other ways. But the only true unifying factor in humanity can be their spiritual longing. Nothing else. That is the only true, the most fundamental threat, irrespective of where the human being is and what they're doing. Only if human beings recognize this, there can be unity, true unity, and then there can be any number of diversity on the surface. That doesn't matter. See, in India, this is the kind of unity that existed. I won't say it existed perfectly and whatever. They would have had their own problems. But if you look at the general setting, general ambience, at least, you will see that in this region of the world, hundreds of spiritual schools existed. Only some of them talked in the language of God. Others never spoke of it. Some spoke, some didn't speak, and still they coexisted. In the thousands of years of Indian history, it looks like they never bothered to come to a final conclusion whether there is God or not. They didn't bother to come to that final conclusion. Some people continued with their God, some people continued with their no God, some people did something else. Why? How could this coexist? How could this diversity coexist? This could have coexisted only if they really saw that what we are doing, all these things, are not the ultimate things. We are just using several means. We are ultimately going after the same spiritual longing in our own ways. They saw that we are all doing the same thing. Whether all of them knew it, conscious of it, I don't know. But the general ambience of this subcontinent shows that there was the lack of conflict. There was no such conflict happening, people killing each other or even fighting with each other. They were sitting and discussing and debating, I think. But never did a conclusion, a belief, become so important to them to create diversity at the root. So this very thing that they did not bother, the country as a whole, the subcontinent as a whole, never bothered to arrive at this conclusion, either God or no God or which God, whatever that is. Whatever the conclusion is, they never bothered to come to it. Which means they didn't consider, that is why you would have heard Sadhguru telling this many times, that India was a godless land, godless country. When he says it's a godless country, he's not saying literally. There were some groups talking of God, some groups approaching it that way. There were others who were doing something else totally. The very fact that both the groups can do their spiritual longing in these two ways means none of them were conclusion. They were just using different paths. And therefore, they could exist together. I don't know how strongly it is there now in India, even now, this awareness. But to some extent, it is there. You can see people really don't care, even if within one house they have different gods. They really don't get disturbed by it. I have Krishna, you have Ganapati, whatever it is. We don't feel disturbed by each other. There are few people who get disturbed. You may know some sects are there who feel disturbed when you talk of other gods. That is happening. I don't know if it must be recent happening or not. I don't know. There are few people who are getting into these belief systems, but largely this Indian psyche, it still kind of reflects in the common people that they really don't care for, they don't even care for the conclusion of God, and they really don't care which God they are worshipping or whatever. See, for example, I don't do all this traditional stuff of photo and stuff. I just do my yoga practices. And my mother does all that. And I don't have problem with her. She doesn't have problem with me that I don't do any puja gija. And it is going on, and it is there like that in many homes. So in the common Indian psyche, you can sense this, that they really don't consider God or no God as a conclusion. They really don't care. Because it is imprinted in the Indian psyche that what you are looking for is your own liberation, not God. You're seeking to evolve further. They don't tell it exactly like that. But now, in reaction to what India went through, India is reacting to it and is becoming religious. They're trying to find their fundamental footing in a conclusion. This seems to be the only region in the planet which recognized the fundamentality of life process over thought process, and it never bothered to give importance to conclusions. This has to spread from India to elsewhere. India shouldn't be succumbing to the rest in reaction and succumbing to conclusion. But slowly, I don't know, I'm not so well informed, but I keep seeing this in social media. The people of this culture also are turning into believers. See, the thing is, the moment, whatever we call as Hinduism, there is nothing called Hinduism, first of all. There's just a collective culture, but if whatever Hinduism is. So when you consider, when you try to project God as the face of Hinduism, Hinduism is gone. You understand? God has never been the face of Hinduism. It was just some groups which used it. They used it in some way. I am not going into that now. But it was only some groups of people who were going by that kind of path, Bhakti Yoga path. So if you make God the face of Hinduism, trying to find unity with other religions, whatever they are, even Hinduism is not united if you go by that criteria. There are so many people, so many sects or groups within Hinduism who don't have God. How will even Hinduism is not united? Forget about other people. So unless they recognize this, that all these spiritual processes are finally for the same thing, within what we call as Hinduism itself, there is going to be a division. There is a lot of division. We don't need others. We are capable because we are already so diverse. If we don't acknowledge what is that unifying factor actually, we can only see division. Nothing else is possible. So you can't use God as a uniting factor. It's simply not possible. By design, it's not possible. By design, I'm not talking of God as such. I'm saying thought structure can't be a uniting factor, whatever it could be. The moment thought is given the fundamental footing, it can only lead to difference. The moment you impose a thought structure, you can only bring about uniformity, not unity. And uniformity is a very crude thing. Everybody should be doing this only is a very crude thing. Trying to find unity in uniformity is a very crude thing. So there will not even be diversity after that. If you try to find unity using ideologies, beliefs, diversity itself won't be there. There will only be uniformity. And uniformity also won't exist for a long time. People will keep rebelling within them because nobody likes uniformity. This is not a sustainable structure. I am addressing something very fundamental. In India today, they're trying to find unity across communities. We're using all these patchworks. They'll say country should come first. They'll say all of us are finally it is going to the same God. They will use all these to do some patch up and unify. No, but for me, my God is more important than the country. I will unify me with you. I won't. You may say many things that India is first for me. For me, it is not. For me, my God is first. If you push it enough, it will go in that direction on. If not today, after 10 years, after 100 years, whatever, it will go in that direction on. If peace prevails now, today, it will be because of so many reasons. Because I am busy with my arranging food for my family, so I don't have time to fight with you. I will keep quiet. The moment I'm free, the moment my belief takes a stronger root, I want you to believe what I believe. Otherwise, I won't be in peace. See, this will initially happen in civilized ways. They will not do it in very. Then everyone need not do it, in a very blunt and crude way, directly. Initially, it will happen in very civilized, sophisticated ways. And then it will become cruder and cruder. It will start happening within families first. If I become a fanatic believer of particular sect and my home nobody else believes it, I will start feeling I want to save them now. I want to make them understand that this is the ultimate belief. But they are not willing to believe. Then what will I do? It will go into conflict somewhere or another. But if you see the actual unifying factor, which is the life's longing to evolve further, and it is not my personal longing, I just came to know about it now. It was always there. Then you will see it is there in everybody and they are not aware of it. Not everybody. Many are aware of it, many are not aware of it. And they are doing their own things to either subjugate it or they don't know what to do about it. So many things. So what they will do about it and how you can facilitate it is all a different matter. But at least you will see this is the unifying factor. And only that can be unifying factor, nothing else. Because this is not made up by you. This is something that is there already. I'm not making this up. My idea, spiritual evolution. This is not, it is nobody's insight. It is how it is. By design, when you consider an ideology to be fundamental, it is divisive. There is divisiveness at the root, unity on the surface. That is all it can be. It can't be unity at the roots. So now another clarification. That's why I posted that in Facebook a few days ago, quoting Bhagavad Gita. That usually when we utter the word compassion, we immediately associate that with an action. Yes, we try to equate compassion with a particular kind of action. Don't equate it. I am not equating it to any kind of action. Your actions are always according to what has to be done in that situation. Of course, how you will do it also will be different, how if you are different within you, but what you are doing doesn't define your compassion. That's why I quoted that Gita's verse, 2 sentences. In one place he says, be compassionate. Another place he says, get up and fight and kill these people. So don't equate it to action immediately. It is just how you are within your state of your being. It doesn't mean you become incapable of certain things. Some people may choose to not even become violent physically. That is fine. When you become a monk or go into that kind of path, you're consciously choosing not even to lift your hand. Even if somebody comes to hit you, you will not lift your hand. That is their personal choice, but that is not the definition of compassion. Only if this uniting factor is really seen by an individual, really seen, not just intellectually, if they really see, only then, even if they have to engage in aggressive activities, it will not harm them internally. Otherwise, it will happen as a reaction, as a compulsion, as a violence within them also. They will also get sucked into that vicious cycle.